CREWCast. 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 Give it up for the CREWCast!
He didn't get that.
Probably for the best, eh? Lack of context.
Lack of context.
It does make a
of
big
laugh.
change.
Some people like it raw.
Yeah, that's what I just said. And I wasn't talking about anything sexual at all. For
No,
a change.
for a change.
Yeah, I was genuinely I was just talking about filming content. And I put up a reel and I managed to film it first take without making any mistakes. And, well, there was a couple of things that I would have done better, but I was like, if I just start obsessing over this, it's just going to mean that I'm going to spend ages just doing it over and over again. I'm never really going to be happy with it. I'm always going to feel like I'm compromising. And some people just like it being a little bit raw.
I think raw is better. Raw and rattling.
Yeah, just like a fish.
I raw come straight from the gym. I've got a vest on underneath. A mauve vest.
It goes well
Yeah.
with the pink late night legacy t-shirt.
But this is literally what I wore in the gym, and I came straight here because I thought if I don't, I won't.
Yeah.
If I don't, I won't. This freaking virus, man, kicked my ass. I've just about hooked it now.
Today's the first time I've spoke to you and you actually sound human.
See, my ears are still a bit like, I still sound a bit, what's the word, like distant in my own head.
Right, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for them to go one. And
It's
then
like when you're getting like feedback on the phone and you're like hearing your own voice
Yeah.
like a split second after.
Yeah, it's super annoying, but I'm in a really cranky mood because of it. Yeah, I'm proper moody. Like,
Really?
everything pisses me off. I have to keep like telling myself to stop being stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like anything. If I want to try and do something and then somebody just like slightly offsets me, I just get really moody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's just the worst time for this stupid thing to hit. The absolute worst time. I look like shit as a result of it. Honest to
I
God.
think you look stunning, man.
Just my physique has melted. Lack of I've had time off training before, as in like a week off here, or I've backed down a bit and done stuff. I've never had a solid like near 4 weeks off whilst also being ill and eating shit. It is scary. Like my waist got thicker, my shoulders got narrower, and my arms got. I started getting. I think I got plumberism. I ate myself into plumberism.
Basically, you've turned into me then.
Yeah, but honestly, I just, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, what have you done?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've done that in a long, long while. And
It'll come back super fast, mate. Like, realistically, your standard that you're holding yourself to is really high.
oh, I know, but the standard I was at took work.
Yeah, no, I get
So, like, I've lost my work. Like, I was actively trying to look abnormal.
Yeah.
Like, so now, and even and I was starting to look pretty decently abnormal, but even in that abnormal stage, there were still parts that I wanted to work on.
Yeah.
So now I've gone back like 3 steps because I'm back to normal, and the parts that I need to work on, I've got more parts, and the ones that were worse are worse-er.
Even
worse,
worserist.
more worse-er.
Yeah. No, but it happens, mate, doesn't it? There's always going to be shit that gets in the way. And genuinely, this has kicked your ass. Like, it's been legit.
Some people have been down for 5 weeks with it. So I've done all right. It kicked my ass for 3, like legit. And then the last week has just been one where, when you got residuals,
Yeah.
like energy levels really low, focus really hard, just getting really tired really early in the day. But then I've lost all my habits. I've not been getting morning sun. I've not been getting consistent sleeping pattern.
Yeah.
I've obviously the ice things have stopped because you can't do that when you're sick. All of these things have stopped. So it's all been accumulation of just one big giant clusterfuck.
You had, like, a pretty good...
I was flowing.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
had
doing
a
well.
pretty good rhythm with everything.
Although I have got my filming done. I mean, it took me way more days than it should have, but I got it done. And getting me to pick the camera up and turn it on and do everything, dude, I was so moody. I was angry that I had to film the things, but only because I was thinking far ahead. I was like, I'm going to film this, then I have to sit in that freaking chair and edit it, and I know it's going to take me longer than I expect it's going to take. I got this real negative loop going.
Yeah.
Real negative, like, down. So today has been an active fight day. Like,
That's good, though. Those are the good days.
shut up, move on, shut up, move on. The amount of time I had to shut up today. What was it I was doing? Driving. What was I driving on the way here? I think it was on the way here. Someone did something, and they pulled out, and I got mad, really angry. And I just said out loud to myself, are you really going to let this seep into your whole day?
Yeah.
Is your whole day going to be full of this? And I just like...
It's easy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm a fuck for it. If something happens, especially if something happens bad early in the day, if it's before 12 o'clock, I'm like, fuck this whole day.
Fuck this whole day.
Yeah, I'm really bad for it. And it's something I do try and work on. I find it easier to break that if I have a change of environment though.
Yes.
So like going from one place to another, it's easy to leave that shit in that environment.
That's
at least
true.
the like visual change or changing the people that are around you, that's a little bit easier to like kind of compartmentalise your
I'm
shit.
contemplating doing a day or out of the house a week where I go and edit in a coffee shop or something. You know, just to remove distractions of me being able to sit and have Netflix or Disney on at the same time, because I won't be able to do that because I just have my laptop.
Yeah.
I won't have the extra screens. And then obviously being in an environment where you're conscious of time a bit more, I think. And you got to look like you're doing something so they don't kick you out.
Yeah.
So you're not just becoming a squatter.
Yeah, one of the things I've started doing the last week, and it's actually been really handy for my productivity, is I got my noise cancelling headphones out, because I work in my office, which is in the gym, which has loud music playing all the time. It's fairly close to the entrance, so you can hear like chatting and laughing and bits and pieces of stuff that's going on. So there's a lot of noise and distractions for me. And even my phone's going off all the time, so my phone's just on vibrate on the stand, which I try and ignore. Noise cancelling headphones on, and then there's some like ADHD music, and they're just kind of background beats and tones, just to kind of
Brown noise?
maybe not brown noise, but something along those lines.
I've used brown noise, it's pretty good.
And they're literally just things to kind of help mask that little bit that the noise cancelling can't get, and kind of gets you into like a bit of a rhythm of work. And it's really
Are you
helpful.
listening through your noise cancelling headphones?
As in like to the
To what you're doing?
if I'm editing, I'll put the
So you've got sound on in the headphones?
if I'm editing.
you're
If
not
I'm not,
plug-in.
if I'm not editing, then I'll just have the sound, like the ADHD music.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got you.
But a lot of it, like a lot of this stuff this week, I've been rebuilding our website, so I've not needed.
Yeah, you don't need the...
I don't need the audio, so I've just been kind of working on
See,
our
mine's all
WordPress.
audio. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you can still have.
I have the stuff on. It does work. It does definitely work.
Can
Helps
you
you sleep?
Can you almost do your edits in two parts, where you just deal with the visual and then deal with the audio, or is it always like a back and forth?
No, it's always a one. Because you're jumping in and out on certain shots and doing stuff because of the way it's said or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. The other thing is you've got to constantly, like, it's sometimes I think like, this will be easy because like the filming of it will be easy, but then to make that entertaining, I have to do loads of jump cuts to make it constantly be changing in an environment that didn't change, and that's laboursome.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those. And my time management is terrible. My ADHD has been really bad recently.
Yeah.
Really bad. And I started looking into it, and I realised there's so much more. You know, when you read something, you're like, oh my God, that's my whole life.
Yeah.
I didn't know ADHD had all these things. So little things like I'll list them to you that happen to me when we're talking on this podcast. Zoning out.
Yeah.
So I can be listening to you, and then all of a sudden, I'll like magic eye your face. You know, when you try to do those magic eyes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my vision goes through you, and I'm not actively doing it. It's just, it starts to blur off.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, crap, I'm losing it. All right. Focus. And then in that whole time I've said that, that's all I've heard. So now I've heard nothing you've said.
Yeah, that happens to
time.
me occasionally as well.
It really happens to me quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then, so there's that. Then there's constant interrupting and butting in. That's a real thing with ADHD. Like the brain just goes, say it now, say it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, I will forget it.
Yeah.
And it's like this double-edged sword where you're like, I'm not going to interrupt him, but then you forget. So what I thought we could start doing actually is having notepads.
Yeah, I was literally.
That will stop me.
I've got sticky notes, and they're all over my desk. Because otherwise, if I don't at least make it on a sticky note, I'll normally tidy that up, or I'll formalise it after.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the middle of like doing some editing, and then all of a sudden I think of something, and then I'm just like, I'll write it down, and I've got different notes that relate to different people.
Yeah.
So if it's something for the manager, or if something for a member of staff, or if it's something for
Different colours.
No, I've just literally got different like notepads with their name on the top of it. So if it relates to one specific person, I'll put it on their notepad. And once that's on their sticky pad, and once that's full, I'll throw it away and start again. But
I think
it does help.
It's a good idea because you can put them up as well.
Yeah, although they don't stick very well, or mine don't.
I learned something really good from my sister. She said, because she was like, "Do you make lists?" I was like, I do write down jobs and tasks. So where are they? I said, "They're in my notepad here." She showed, and I showed her. I've got this like notepad book. She went, "That's no good." I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because you can shut that book, and the moment you shut that book, that list's gone."
Yeah.
So you need it up in front of you, right in front of your face, where you have to stare at it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to see what you've got to do and what's got to get done. And just in knowing that, you'll take away a lot of the anxiety.
Visibility is massive. It's, you know, when I was saying about having my board that I put up and I tick off my tasks if I want to make sure I remember certain habits, and I've got it on the wall. As soon as I step out of bed, it is there in front of me, so I see it at least every single morning.
Do you not just get used to it and just waft past it?
You can do that, but it's normally, obviously, same as anything, it requires a conscious effort for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
And then once you've done it for a few days, then it becomes a little bit easier and then it becomes more noticeable.
You just got that one? Or you got like one at your desk and one there?
I've got one up in the bedroom. But like I said, they're almost two different things because a habit is a consistent thing that you want to implement consistently, right? It's going to be something you want to do that thing maybe every day, maybe several times a day, maybe a couple of times a week. So you need that to be repetitive. Whereas your tasks throughout the day are going to vary from week to week, day to day, and they're not necessarily going to be repeatable. If they're going to be repeatable, you probably should just have that in a calendar and allocate a certain amount of time every single week or day to just do that. That's why lists and visibility is going to be far more important. Because
So what's on your bed one then? Tasks or habits?
So on my bed one, it's habits.
So something
Regulars.
you want to get grounded.
Yeah, just regulars, making sure that I stick to a consistent training routine. So I have training on there. So I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Yeah. On the on the Thursday and Sunday, it just says rest. So I still tick that box as a rest day. Supplements every single day, meditate every single day. Yeah. That's all I'm actually focusing on at the moment. It's less than normal because I'm kind of out of routine with Christmas as well. I'm still building that back up. So the habits are by the bed because I don't need that next to me. No, you don't. Because I meditate, I take my supplements, and I train all in the morning, and I take supplements at night as well.
If I train in the morning, have you always trained in the morning? No. So, to me, it feels like sometimes pushing through rust in the morning. But do you feel that goes the more you get used to just hitting morning sessions?
Yeah, 100%. It does go. I never all systems go from the first moment I walk into the gym. It takes me the first exercise.
What time is this?
This morning I trained at 6:30.
Fucking hell, that is early.
So I've used to train 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning. I've trained all times, literally, because of my old job. Sometimes it'd be 3:00 in the morning because I've just finished work. Yeah. Sometimes it's 3:00 in the morning because I'm about to go to work. So my idea was just like, it's just going to get it done. I have no control of the variable of how it's going to make me feel. So I'm just going to put up with it. Some are going to be better than others. But the most important thing is that I'm turning up.
Getting it there.
In a perfect world, you do have that consistency, right? And with the consistency, you definitely adapt better to that time of day that you're training.
See, and that would help me because my mornings, I am just like a sloth.
Yeah, I'm naturally like not a morning person. I had to get up early for 10 years and never became a morning person. It's not something bizarre. Like some people just like evolve to be that way. Emma's more of a morning person.
Uncle and cousin.
Yeah.
5 a.m.ers. Like, without a blink. Like, you can't even keep them in the bed.
Yeah. Emma's like, she gets up, turns all the lights on, I'm fucking blinded. I'm like, oh, jeez. She always complains because I get up early. Normally, if I'm up I was up at 5:30 this morning, but normally I'd say I'm up at 6. I'll get up and I'll do stretching and meditation. And it's dark. Like, you saw that little glowy rock lamp thing. Yeah. That'll be on, so it's dim. There's a little downlight that's in our extractor fan in the kitchen, so that'll be on, so I can see, but it's not bright. And then Emma comes down and it's like, lights on, and I'm like, ah! Even though I've been up for like an hour.
To ease in.
Yeah, that's it. But it's something like just getting in and training. your first couple exercises maybe will be a bit ropey. It depends on what you're doing. Like, I just used to deal with it because generally, say on a lower body day, if I was squatting,
See, that immediate thought, squatting in the morning, is like, that can get bent.
yeah, it's rough. It is rough, but also it builds a bit of character, right?
Of course it does.
And
We should be making our lives tough.
Yeah.
Like, if we live in comfort, it makes you a pussy. It makes you soft. It makes you moany and weak and easily susceptible to failure, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a really common thing nowadays, that like with all the just society and the whole, like, you know, people get offended so easily, and instead of building a bit of fortitude and strength of character to deal with the fact that they've just been offended, they just stop people from offending them. And like, what kind of world is that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
listen,
why would you do that?
Just because you're offended as well doesn't mean that what you heard was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, your opinion is your offence is your opinion. Like, unless someone has said something racist or outrightly sexist that has forever of all time been that way, then like, maybe take a look. If you're getting offended all the time, maybe you're a bit of a pussy.
Yeah. There's very much that
Like,
fact.
and also, what fights are you picking in this world? Like, where's your energy going? That's why when I was driving here and I got mad at that person pulling out, I was like, pick your fights, dude. Like, where's your energy going? And this is negative energy.
Yeah.
Like, you're now driving in the sunshine. It's nice. So listening to, you know, podcasts, which I was really enjoying, but I wasn't appreciating the fact that I had to drive to enjoy the podcast. And I think that's going to be a big factor, because I'm going to be moving soon as well, that I'm going to be a different distance from all gyms. And I think I'm going to be further away.
Okay.
Which is annoying after paying a lot of money to be close to one.
Oh yeah, of course I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it was because I literally paid to go to that Bannatynes because it's 10 minutes away, which otherwise I wouldn't, because it's not worth it. The worth was in the distance.
Distance, yeah.
So I am going to have to make the journey to the gym the thing I don't hate anymore, because it is the thing I hate.
Yeah.
It's the thing that stops me going. So I have to start relating something positive to that journey, like listening to something, making a habit of something in that drive.
Yeah. Audiobooks or a podcast or something would be great for it, because that's what I used to fucking drive. Well, some of the years we did like 50, 60,000 mile a year, so you can imagine the amount of hours we were in the vans. And like, at first it was dull, it was boring, and as well, you can only have so many conversations when you're
Yeah.
side by side with somebody for hours at a time. And it was at a point where, like, get up in the morning, be like, all right, and then we just, sometimes we wouldn't even listen to music, we'd just sit in silence for like 5 hours just driving to Scotland.
Jesus.
But we could put music on, but we'd fucking listen to every song on the radio a million times. We didn't want to. It was sometimes just easier to have silence. But then when I got into audiobooks, it made long drives so enjoyable. And then the amount of times we'd get to site and we'd just stop there and be like, just wait till this chapter's done. Yeah, we're just like waiting for the end of it, just because it was really good. And you were excited to get back in the van because you could find out what the next step was. And really, you need a little bit of a longer drive. You need kind of at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Doing a 5-minute drive down the road, I still do listen to books for 5 minutes, but it's not as good, because you're not absorbing that much information.
Yeah. So
That 100% would make it
that would
enjoyable.
I think that's the big thing. Yeah.
You should listen to something like Hard to Kill or something like that, the David Goggins book, before training, because it's informational, but it's also about being being mentally tough, and it doesn't necessarily get you psyched up for training, but it makes you think that you're such a bitch compared to David Goggins that you need to sort your life out.
I do try listening to him, but he's too much sometimes.
He is too much, but the book
like,
is...
because he's going to be crippled.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's already... Probably people don't know this. He's already partially crippled. Like, his knees had to be operated on because he ground them. He ground all the cartilage away so that it was just bone rubbing on bone in his knee. Yeah. So now he's got about 8 pins in there to try and reconstruct the ball joint in his knee. And he said he can feel every step that pin. He's going to be like... He's not going to be able to do what he's doing now in 10 years.
They might just give him like Oscar Pistorius legs, and he can just
bounce.
Yeah, he'll just wear his away, and then just
they'd have to have him on a gimbal because he'd just be boing, boing, boing. So just can't even imagine now. If him just go voing, voing, like properly just.
Yeah, but imagine him then. Imagine the things he'd do then.
I know. You just see him like jumping cars.
Yeah.
Coming the other way.
Yeah. Just remove his arms as well. Give him like Terminator hook arms.
Oh, yeah.
And then
He'd be back on missions. He'd be back in the military.
yeah, they would. But he's basically the next stage of evolution. Then he's borderline
He would
super
be,
soldier.
If you made a robot super soldier and just put his brain in it.
Yeah.
Everyone would be fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be the one.
So yeah, my goal is to be less of a bitch now. I do understand that being sick did mentally like deplete me. Like, and it did. It was all in my head, all science, everything. So it was literally in my head.
It's miserable when it drags on.
And then you got the crap weather, so we couldn't even do anything. And everything I wanted to do got held up because of bad weather. And yeah, it's been a shit January, like really shit. And it shouldn't be shit because I got a lot of stuff coming on that's going to be really good. So I started filming the release video for that. So So the next podcast we'll discuss it in depth.
Yeah, we can't talk about it now. But
No, because I think the video will be out by now. If it is, go check my channel. You'll know exactly what video it is when you see it. Obviously, there'll be follow-up videos to explain everything and what's going on. And then obviously I'm starting this. I literally did a physique update of like, look how shit I look. It's like, yeah. But it's funny, isn't it, how the body will snap back, and I know it will. Like, I already see it today. I've done like 2 pussy sessions because you saw my heart rate on my Whoop. My heart rate went up to 160.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. I was doing like basic full body workouts. Only 3 sets, 12 reps, nothing to failure. And my heart rate was like, whoop through. It felt like after every set, I'd done a sprint.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, just lungs would not function.
Did you feel like a bit like jittery almost? Or
Not
anything
jittery,
like that? Or
just like fully like exhausted.
blowing.
And then by when I got to the end, I was like, oh, this is the end. Like, there is no more. And I know often when I leave the gym, it's by choice.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you've done enough. Get out.
Yeah.
This was like, I cannot do anymore.
It's just reminded me, because obviously I've said it a couple of times, it sounds really similar to when I had the thing that we won't say.
He who shall not be named.
And there'd be, when I was coming back after that, it took me quite a while, nearly passed out a few times because of getting so lightheaded. But I'd realised when I was training, there was a certain point, and if I pushed past it, I'd made myself massively like feel sick, feel like really ill.
Oh, really?
And the difference could have just been 1 set. Do you know what I mean? I've been okay through that workout, and then I do 1 set too many, and then I'm like, you know, where you go pale and you're like,
Oh, yeah. Well, I went too far.
But it wasn't because I was pushing that hard.
I don't think it would have done that. It was just literally, I didn't have the energy to pick up another weight.
Right.
It was just exhaustion. Just like, ugh. And then I went back in the day after, and then I went back to a little bit more structure, but rather than 3 sets, did 4 sets. And then today I've done my normal routine, 5 sets, 30 seconds rest, staring at other people on their phones, getting pissed off at them, calling them a bitch, and doing my next set.
That's the norm. That's what
I'm getting back.
Yeah, that's your
Dude, there was a guy in there
rest
today.
interval.
Honestly, so there's a kid in there who looked really good. You know when they were like, he's a tall kid, a bit like naturally broad to a tight waist. Really looks like he's into his training. Wearing a jumper for most of the session, so it's not vanity driven and all that. And he seemed to be getting on. Then his mate came in, who was a bit dumpy and looked like one of those hair flicker kids. You know, like one of them with his constantly flicking hair. He's got to get fucking cut. Put some hairspray in it, you rat bag. And he literally, like the other kid was on the. Did you call it a preacher curl?
Yeah,
That one.
The preacher curl bench.
It is the preacher curl, isn't it? I always get confused with the concentration curl, which is technically the one where you just slam it into your thigh.
Yeah.
So he's on the preacher curl. It's actually a really nice machine, this one. It really angles forward. I hate them normally, but this one's decent. And by the by, this kid comes in and literally stands on the front of the machine the kid's using, and grabs the handles. So he's like lazing on it. So he's got his feet on the base of it, and then he's grabbing the handles to like lean and swing a bit. So he's actively stopping this other kid now from carrying his training on after interrupting him. I'm just like, you fucking toad. Bugger off. Like, you're in my eye line, and everything about you is pissing me off right now. Like, everything. And then he was a fucking classic phone drifter.
Yeah.
And then he picked up 16s or something to do chest press on, which is, you're a bitch, right? Everybody can do 20. I don't care who the fuck. Like, he could have done 20. Yeah. And he had 16s, and he was taking 4-minute breaks in between to scroll his phone. When he lay down to do the thing, you know how people get themselves in the position with their legs, so their legs move around?
Yeah.
They didn't stop.
Oh, just like
He was doing a jig the entire set. It looked like somebody was electrocuting his buttocks or his testicles for the entire set.
yeah,
I was just like, why are you even here? Why are you? And it made me train harder.
yeah.
Because I was like, fuck, they're ending up ever like that.
I don't think you would, mate. I genuinely think you can have the rest of your life off training, and that probably still wouldn't happen.
Just Christ. So yeah, I want to try and get back into get to boxing this next week as well. Although I don't think that's going to happen next week because next week's a big shit happening.
Yeah, just pace yourself. Just try one thing at a time.
I can actually go midweek now because I used to have commitments on a Wednesday that I don't have anymore, so I can go Wednesday evening. There we go. There's some good news.
Yeah.
So there's something I wanted to impart. So I've learned some stuff because I was looking at like, right, why is when I'm not I know not exercising huge for your mental health. Like I went like immediate 4 levels down of just being a bitch from not just training. But I've learned some other stuff. The morning light thing is huge for the circadian rhythm. But not only that, getting sun in your eyes in the morning. So you've got to get 10 minutes in, but you actually meant to stare at the sun.
Stare at the sun.
Like stare at the sun. Yeah, you have to stare as close to at it as you can bear.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not good for your eyeballs.
Yeah, so don't. If it hurts, look slightly adjacent.
Okay.
But if you can, you need. Especially if it's a little bit overcast, look directly at the sun in the morning. Obviously, we're not looking at like a noon sun. Midday sun's useless. Got it, morning sun.
Okay. So it's
So
maybe
as
a little bit hazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit hazy and coming up in the morning. Yeah,
Okay.
Stare at it as best as you can. It not only sets your circadian rhythm throughout the entirety of your cellular being, but it also massively affects cortisol levels, massively affects the melatonin, the way it's in your system, so affecting like sleep cycles and stuff like that. It could also a huge impact on learning that day. So if you don't get the morning sun and you don't get the circadian rhythm set, it can affect your actual mental capacity for that day.
Yeah.
So you're going to struggle a little bit more with concentration, focus, and learning, especially if you don't get it in back to back for 2 days.
Right.
So over 48 hours without it, there's been a clinical significant difference shown. Isn't that crazy? And then also hormone balance is huge. Yeah. So like your testosterone and estrogen balance, all of that is huge. All from just getting this 10 minutes of morning sun.
Yeah.
So this is a huge thing. But then from 10 p.m. in the evening until 4 a.m., you want all your lights down. Or you want it dim. Yeah. And if you can, red lights.
Yeah, we in the bedroom we've got like I think I showed it you. It's the thing that projects like the starlight onto the ceiling, and you can choose what colour that everything's in. So we always have. Well, I always set it as like just a red light in the bedroom because normally we go to sleep around about 11ish.
Normal time for most people.
Yeah, and generally I'll try to go up to bed around about 10 to half 10.
Yeah,
so I'll have an hour to half an hour.
See, I'm bad for that. I'll be like, I'm going to go to bed for 11. I'm going to get to sleep for 11. So I'll go to bed at 11.
Yeah, it never works.
Well, I'm not sleep till 12.
Yeah, because especially now we've got the dog as well. We've got so much shit that we need to do. We've got to get his food out because he's fed raw, so we've got to get stuff out the freezer for him, make sure he's gone to the toilet. Like I don't know. There's just like a bedtime routine that we have to do.
A forced routine. Almost.
Yeah, and we've got to now do it because we've got the dog. So it's not fair on him and disrupting his routine. And occasionally, don't get me wrong, I do break it sometimes. Like Emma will go to bed early, I'll put the dog to bed, and then I'll just sit and watch cartoons for another hour.
Yeah, that is. I almost feel like this is a problem I have. Is I feel like I'm owed. Especially if it's been like a day where I've been sat at the laptop, and maybe I'm sat at the laptop till 9 o'clock at night, which is stupid and not productive. And it's usually I've not been productive, which is why I'm sat there so late. But then I go downstairs and I'm like, I'll just put a movie on. But that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm owed that, and I'm not fucking owed that. Yeah. Sometimes you just go straight from work to bed and it's tough shit.
Yeah.
And I've got to start accepting that.
Yeah. That I try to get about 30 minutes of TV before that's at the end of the day. Sometimes I might get an hour, but normally it's 30 minutes and it'll be while we're eating tea because we don't eat at the table. We probably should, but well, whatever. But we'll just. I'll sit here and we'll sit there, we'll watch TV, and it'll be like an episode of something.
Yeah.
And that's why at the moment, series just a way better because you can just put it on.
There's a downside of series though, is that you've got the next episode right freaking there. And when you watch one and you feel like, oh, that went far too quick because it was good.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I need the next one. that I fall weak at that every time.
Yeah.
I put the next one on.
Yeah, I think I'm just in the habit of it now. Like yesterday, because we're watching The Old Man.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, but we didn't even do the full episode. We literally had I think we were 18 minutes in when we finished tea, and we were like, right, okay. And then we had to stop because yesterday, when did I get home from work? I think I got home from work about 8:30, and I was in at 6 in the morning. So it was a long ass fucking day. I was really tired, and then still had to sort the dog, get everything ready, and so we just literally watched fucking 18 minutes of The Old Man.
I couldn't do that.
And then had a shower and went to bed.
That's strong. That's what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
I need to be able to walk away. Do you know if I walk away from something, I'm left with a feeling that I've forgotten something for quite a while afterwards. That's how. And I don't know if that's the ADHD thing or something like that, but it genuinely leaves me empty, like I'm missing something.
It does gripe me. It doesn't anywhere near as much as it used to, but I do have that feeling of it's just
How
that something's
pussy is this conversation
not
right
completed.
now? Listen to how pussy this conversation is.
I know.
Oh, I didn't get to watch the rest of my show. That's literally my bitch-ass brain. So, So I'm going to try that, the red lights. You don't need to buy the red lights either, the fancy ones.
Yeah.
Literally, they've done studies. You can just put party lights in. So I've got the smart lights at home now, and I can change this to any colour. So at 10 o'clock, I can just go change it to red, and that's it. And it will benefit helping get me... Well, what it does essentially is make you want to go to bed more.
Yeah.
And more regularly. So the more consistent you can be with all these external factors, the more consistent that you're going to feel better and better and better day by day by day. I haven't been consistent with external factors.
And those blue light blocking glasses, if you are going to watch TV and it's going to be close to your bedtime, you can't. You can have settings on TVs which will reduce the blue light in them.
Yeah, they do.
But if you just chuck the blue light blocking glasses on, then you haven't got to do much of it. It doesn't stop all blue light, but it definitely reduces it.
Yeah.
And I've had mine on pretty much constantly for the last week because I've had a heavy week of just staring at the screen all day. And the last 2 days I've tried to, because I've got multiple tasks to do, a lot of them rotate around being in front of the screen, but I felt like I was just getting to a point where I was almost not productive or I was reducing my productivity because I was doing such a similar task for such a long time.
Yeah,
so yesterday, I knew I had to film a reel and edit it. I knew I had a couple of consultations. I knew I needed to go out and get the dog walked. I knew I had some website editing stuff. I had a couple of Zoom meetings. And I then looked at the whole day and I was like, okay, how can I do this? Which means that, because normally I would just be like, right, I've got this to do. I've got all these tasks to do on the computer. I'll just sit down for 7 hours and do that. Then I'll do this one.
Yeah.
But I've tried to actually split it up. So I had a couple hours on the website. And then I was like, right, okay, I'm going to go walk the dog.
I think that is a very smart way to do things, breaking it down, bite-sizing it. Because if you do, like you say, wallop, all that lot, right, when you get that done, and then you don't, then you think you failed, and you haven't. You've still got work done. That was another thing as well I learned about ADHD. You often will over-leverage yourself by committing to too many tasks, which will inevitably lead to failure, which will then lead you to feeling anxious and of low energy and low self-esteem. And it's simply because of the need to want to commit to something.
I do it all the time.
Some ADHD people overshare in conversations.
Yeah.
Now, I don't do this, but because there's a disconnect between the way in which people with ADHD process thoughts and the speed at which it's processed and the way it's filtered. Some people, because obviously it's a huge spectrum, some people will overshare in conversations with people they don't know because what they're trying to do is adhere to a friendship with that person. It's actually a nice thing, but they'll often overshare and be telling people intimate things when they've just met them. But in their head, they're committing to that person. Being like, hey, look how much I want you to know me. And
and then that can actually have the opposite effect, and some people are like, okay,
and then that person goes home and realizes, oh shit, did I overshare? And then has a bit of an anxiety thing about that, and then it can make them awkward in social interactions. So there's so many. Honestly, when I started looking into this thing, and mainly one of the things was I started following an ADHD page on Instagram, which just
what's it called?
Just type in ADHD something. I can tell you now. Actually,
there's because I literally today, one of our members who's was late diagnosed with ADHD, she came in and was talking to me because she went to like a little, it's not a convention, but basically like a seminar with these two ADHD doctors that are based in Birmingham, and they have a podcast. I've reached out to them today to see if they want to come on as guests.
Oh, that's cool.
But they've both got ADHD, but they're both, I think one's a psychologist. Yeah, they do a podcast and they do seminars, and they do, it's like they've got a charity as well, and there's loads of stuff. It seems really interesting. Their content's good. They seem funny.
It's called ADHD Elite.
Okay.
468,000 followers. So, you know, it's been up a while. But it just they do post some funny stuff. That's just like, it's got Snoop Dogg dancing with a drink in his hand, and it says my ADHD after I finished one thing from my to-do list. And it is genuinely true. Like, you read some of these, but amidst the fun that they put on, I have legitimately read something and it's opened my eyes to be like, oh shit, that has been me like my entire time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll put it down to just me not being organised or whatever, but no, it's actually a symptom.
Yeah, when I read that or listened to that audiobook ADHD 2.0, that's what really opened my eyes up to everything, because I was like, oh crap, that goes through the full spectrum of all the symptoms, and like obviously there's a lot of crossover.
It's a massive spectrum, and you also don't have to. I found it's very easy. You can read these and start using them as an excuse, and that's not what it is. It should be a realization to control. So be aware. Once you're aware of that dumbass thing you do, catch it, stop it, change it. But you could read this and just be like, oh, it's just the way I am. No.
Yeah.
No. The idea is to learn and control.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I've actually managed to get mine in much over the last year, probably a lot better order, just from all the extra structure that I've kind of forced myself to commit to. And I'm not always perfect on it. I'll have weeks where I'm better than others, but like this last week, because I perform well under pressure generally, I'm somebody who kind of needs some time constraints and some external pressures, and I do very well in that situation. And because we've had several time crunches with software changeovers, and I'm not even going to go into it, but it's actually really helped me, and then made me utilise all these tools that I organise myself with. And I feel like it is something that you can always make pretty big improvements on. Like me, 5 years ago, would not be able to handle what I do by any, like, not even close.
Really?
No, yeah, 100%, not even close. So, and you know, that's going from 25 to 30, which is, you know, seemingly you've done a lot of your maturing at 25, haven't you?
Yeah.
But it made a massive difference for me.
It's I think with me it's I've sank back too much into a routine, and that's not a good thing, because when you have a routine day to day that's exactly the same, time just spirals. So I think the breaking stuff down. So like if I have to be at the computer every day, I need to break that up with going and do something physical.
Yeah.
And then break it up with filming. So like, you know, whereas I try and do all the filming at once, then do all the editing at once, and it's clearly not fucking working. And I don't know why I haven't just done this before. It's like half edit, half film. Or what I've started to do now is, once I've filmed it, I take it straight off the card and start laying it out in the timeline, and at least putting it in. And
just
then
rough cut it.
Yeah, rough cut it a little bit, and then hopefully that'll just, if I can do that, film a bit, put it in, film a bit, put it in. That I'll be a bit more of a rhythm of da-dum, rather than being like da-dum.
Yeah, it breaks it up as well, and also, especially with the editing side of things, it's going to be so much easier to edit something. I know from personal experience, obviously I don't edit stuff to the quality that you do, but if it's fresh in your head and you've just filmed it, you know exactly what you expect out of that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've filmed it a few days ago and then you come back to it, and then you've got to almost watch it again, just like, what did I do? So you're like watching this entire thing to then realise, what do I need to chop out and remove? It just like adds a load more time to actually get the result that you want.
Yeah, and especially if you've got a brain like ours, where it's 1,000 miles an hour, all these other things, you do forget what you've even done. So then I have to rewatch everything just to even remember, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Whereas I do stuff deliberately quirky sometimes when I film. Yeah. And if I remember that in the moment and get it on, I can go straight to that point and just block it out. Yeah.
I definitely would recommend the sticky notes thing, just that pen and the sticky notes. And like, if you could have different colours for different categories, whether if you had like a podcast idea, that could be on a certain sticky note. If you've got, you know, an Instagram reel idea, that could be another one. If you've got one like a different business idea,
I think just having them up in front of you, the biggest thing my sister, when she pointed out, you shut that away. Once you shut that notebook that you've written that thing in, it's gone. It's no longer in your mind, especially yours, dummy. Like, so unless it's like shoved in my face, I will forget it until I actively go to reopen and look at notes. So yeah, I think stickies are a good idea.
Yeah, visibility it's very important.
Yeah. So that's what I've learned this week.
That's been good.
Feels good to be back in the gym.
Yeah.
And today was good. My first session where I did my 5x5s.
Yeah.
And yeah, it felt good. It felt good to look at other people and think you're a bitch.
Yeah. and not feel like, so am I.
Yeah, because that's how I felt. I even did some stretching afterwards.
Oh.
And you know, that took the most energy.
I can imagine.
So boring. It's so boring. Why can't we just be elastic?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to tighten up? How is that an evolutionary benefit? Well, there's no way cavemen stretched.
Tightness is useful, though.
Inflammation's useful. Is tightness useful?
Tightness is useful because a lot of the time tightness comes with strength.
I suppose.
Because a tight muscle tends to be a strong muscle.
There's still no way. People stretch
Excess
things.
flexibility is not a great thing. Yeah, it's a bad. You need to be where you need to be. You don't need to be any more mobile than you need to be. Depends
That's
what your
true.
life is, right?
Yeah.
If you need to sit into a deep ass to grass squat because you shit in a hole, then you need that mobility, right? But if you don't, then do you have to be able to squat below parallel? As long as you can sit on chairs without falling over.
Yeah.
Why do you need to be more mobile than that?
But I always think functionality of like zombie apocalypse, internet goes. Or we don't even need a zombie apocalypse.
I like how
anymore.
you put internet goes down and
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse
Well, no, I just
on a
thought
parallel.
then, I just thought zombie apocalypse. So hang on, what's real? Just lose the internet. If the internet goes down, the whole of society will go to shit. Like people will lose their minds. Everything will start falling apart.
Yeah.
Everything will start falling apart. That's how pussy we are right now. If somebody just goes, no more internet for you, boop. That most of what we do day to day is no longer possible. You couldn't watch TV.
Yeah.
You couldn't even watch TV because we don't have areas.
Everyone would be fucking getting their DVD players out the loft, wouldn't they?
I found a DVD player the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, bright pink it is. I don't know where it's from. Then I've got DVDs. I have boxes full of DVDs.
Yeah, I still do. Yeah.
Why do we still have them? It's just,
I'm waiting for this
You're waiting for the
fucking
apocalypse.
internet apocalypse, yeah.
I got some books for Christmas. That's another thing I started doing, reading before bed again. I started doing that. That was really good.
Yeah.
Because that actually knocks me out.
Yeah.
But then also I get addicted to the thing and I have to put it down.
Yeah, I think I've wanted to because I just don't do much reading other than stuff that's on the computer. So I'm not a great reader. Obviously, being dyslexic, I can read perfectly fine, but it's
You know they used to put sheets on, didn't they?
yeah, coloured sheets.
Can you not just get glasses for it now?
Yeah, you can, and I had some. One, you look like a twat.
Why?
Because you've got green tinted glasses, or
Green was your
green
colour,
was my colour, and I don't like green in terms of
That
the
is,
aesthetic.
so that is. What are your choices? Red, green, and yellow.
I can't remember.
I guess it's
I
like
did this
primary
test
colours
when-
and stuff.
I did this test when I was at
Green is the shittest.
school. Yeah, but it doesn't cure it. It doesn't fix it. It improves it.
Oh, right.
Like, do you know what I mean? It goes from being it probably gives me like an extra. So say if I'm reading it, I might get maybe 5 minutes of reading before it starts to get quite hard work because stuff's like moving around and shifting. If I
He literally dances on the page.
yeah, literally, I'm struggling to read because it's like the words start like going like
So
this.
are they
and
in
shifting.
focus when they're moving?
Kind of.
Or is it all just start to blur and shift?
No, you can still differentiate the words, but it's really easy to read
Do you know why
like
it
the
doesn't?
second word before the next word.
The words literally flip.
They don't just go. Tsh. They're literally the closest way I can describe it is like imagine you've got multiple lines there,
Yeah.
and they're all kind of just like doing that, and the end up I'm like focusing from like I'm trying to go like clink word, clink next word to read it, and then I'm that focused on doing that.
You're not actually
I'm not
reading
not absorbing the information. I'm just like, what is this word? Okay, now what is this word?
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. So if I put those glasses on, then I might get 10 minutes instead of 5.
So it's to do with light refraction, is it?
No fucking clue.
I would have thought you'd have looked into that.
No, I don't care. I just stopped reading. That was my solution.
Sorted.
Yeah, I was just like audiobooks solve the problem.
Audible? I'm in.
Yeah, and also from an efficiency point of view, you can listen. I was listening to a book when I was doing vacuuming. I was listening to a book when I was walking. I was listening to a book.
It is
when-
good, but I think reading literally has other profound effects on your ability to understand language. Your vocabulary will improve from reading. Your spelling ability will improve from reading because you're literally in words. So by us not doing that, I find it, sometimes I struggle to find words. and I'd be like, oh, I need to like, start
To read a damn book.
read or be listening to smarter people again because I can feel my vocabulary literally diminishing and my thoughts they literally will stagger.
Yeah.
They'll just get stuck on them because my brain's like, we know the word for this.
Yeah.
And then with the adahada, I will then ultra focus on trying to find that word, and then my hyper focus kicks it.
I find that I get the same benefit from the audiobooks in terms of the vocabulary. Like my vocabulary got a lot better when I started to listen to audiobooks. Obviously, that doesn't help my spelling though. Like my spelling is still limited. Like I can spell. My spelling's a lot worse than my reading. I'll be able to read. I'll very rarely come across a word that I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah.
And it's normally a word that most people would be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
There might be a handful that would probably catch me out. But if I had to even spell out, fairly average words that you'd probably be able to do at school, I'll still spell them wrong.
Yeah.
Like that's, and that is because of the lack of actual reading.
Craziness.
But it doesn't bother me on a day-to-day basis. I've got fucking autocorrect, right?
You know what I mean? We're cyborg.
Yeah.
We're cyborg.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's dark outside already. What time are we on now? It's not even 5 o'clock. Come on, days. Buck your game up. Do we have to actually wait till the clocks change before it genuinely gets light at night, or do we end up... We get a little bit till 7ish, don't we?
I literally don't remember. I don't.
This is it. January just cloaked in darkness and wet.
Yeah, I'll pretty much go into the gym in the dark and come home in the dark.
January is a shitty bin bag.
Yeah.
January is a bin bag that somebody's poured spaghetti sauce into. So it's a little bit liquidy.
Yeah.
But it's still contained. It's not totally terrible, but it's definitely not good.
Yeah.
And it's got a little leak.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little fucking leak.
Bit of a funny smell, and you're not
so
sure.
that once you've got rid of it, it's just still lingering.
Yeah.
You've still got some stuff to do because of it.
Yeah.
That's January.
Yeah. So
You're a spaghetti bin bag.
does that mean that February is still going to be a bit stinky?
Yeah, the beginning of Feb is still going to be a bit, especially if it rains.
Yeah.
You have to grind through. You have to grind.
I started listening to. I haven't listened to any audiobooks about kind of positivity or mindset for a while. They've been either fiction books or very specific to a certain task. And I'm listening to a book. It's actually recordings from his seminars, which I feel like I can't remember the guy's name, but it's called How to Have the Best Year of Your Life. Let me find out what his name is. His name is Jim Rohn, some old American looking dude. His voice, he sometimes says stuff, and he reminds me of what's his name, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
In just how he pronounces stuff.
Yeah.
So then in my head it's Jack Nicholson telling me all this life
cool.
advice.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it. And yeah, he had like a quote that I really liked, and it was, you need to learn to work on yourself harder than you work at your job. I think that was it. You need to learn to work harder on yourself than you do at your job. And I was like, that's really useful information, because I think a lot of people don't, like, because he was saying he used to be a really hard worker. He's always been a really hard worker, but when he was 25, he was broke. He had like nothing to his name, but he was a hard worker, but he was just working hard on the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. You've got a lot of people that absolutely bury themselves in work, and they could do really physically demanding jobs that would, just cripple a lot of other people, like, ground workers or something like that. It's a really physically demanding job, and you're out in all kinds of weather, and you've got to be tough to do that. But that might never get that ground worker to the place that they want to be, because they're working
Constantly
really
battered physically.
Well, they're working hard on their job, and they're not working on themselves.
There's no energy left for themselves after.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that can happen with training as well. I think you can become so utterly focused on training and destroying yourself in those sessions that when you come back, I've had this sometimes when I go a bit too deep into it and I've been doing too much. This is where control of your sessions comes in. So I would go in and I'd just get overexcited. I'd be doing like 10 rounds of boxing and lifting every single day of the week, and then by then I'm completely burnt out after 2 or 3 weeks. It has to be sustainable, and like you said, if you're coming back and you're absolutely just dead, done, got nothing left in the tank for yourself in those times, then yes, something needs to shift and change. And I think
I can't train without a plan. Like it would, because I'd do the same as you. I'd burn myself out and then not train for 2 weeks, and then burn myself out, and then like I have to have a plan, otherwise it feels pointless to me now.
So I think the overall conclusion of this podcast, which is a little bit of serious, not serious, but we needed to have these chats.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people feel the same way. Is balance, isn't it?
Organise your fucking life.
Jesus Christ.
Sort
boys.
your life
boys
out,
and
mate.
girls. Fucking hell. And make sure you're getting together with mates as well.
Yeah.
Don't just sit inside. That's a big thing. That's one reason I wanted to come here today.
Yeah.
And because I thought I need... another thing with ADHD I learned is environmental change is massive. So if you're stuck doing the same thing in the same place, you will do the same stupid things over and over and over. Whereas when you change environment, it actively makes you sit up and focus on what's going on and readdress how you're working or how you're functioning. Just simple change of environment.
Do you feel better now you're here? Like now we've got started?
Yeah.
Because
I was pissed off the whole drive.
Yeah.
Because I got stuck behind a tractor from the very start. And I was like you with your fuck this day. I was like, fuck this drive.
Yeah.
Like, and then even halfway through I was going, God, this is taking forever. And it wasn't. It was moving relatively slow, but because I got it in my mind that I was stuck behind something, I was just, projecting. And I'm just mad at myself. That's all it is. I'm mad at myself. Mainly because I've got like stuff going on I don't have time for this bullshit.
Yeah.
I do not have time for this shit anymore. Like, end. Has to stop.
Yeah, I think don't feel too stressed about it, because like honestly, with a really small bit of structure, it will. If you can pinpoint just a couple of things and just do that for a bit. Just don't try and do everything at once. Don't try and like tick all these boxes.
Yeah.
Just be like, right, okay, I'm gonna add in one thing. So I'm gonna put sticky notes, so when an idea pops into my head, I haven't got to run the risk of forgetting about it. I haven't got to go and do it then and there. I can just write it down and then get back on track.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked your thing that you were doing where you were setting a timer for every 2 hours, was it?
I've done that, yeah. So my alarm goes off every 4 hours.
Oh, is it 4 hours?
Yeah, so I'm going to change it to 2 when we get back into work, because what it does is, A, it lets me know, A, how time is moving, but B, also, it's like, it cracks me awake again. Like, whoa, because especially if I'm dilly-dallying, alarm will go off, like, oh, okay, crap, that time's gone. Right. Was I aware of that or not? If I'm not aware, something's gone wrong in that last block.
Yeah.
Whereas when it goes off, I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Then I know I'm on a roll.
Yeah, for me, I think it would do a similar thing where, like, several times this week, I'd, like, glance down at the time and I'm like, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've got lots of work done, but I was like, fuck. Where's the day gone?
Yeah.
And I hadn't separated the day up as much as possible. And I do feel like by breaking it up into little chunks and having a little bit more variety, one, it makes your day actually feel a little bit longer in a good way. Like you feel like there's more that's happened.
Yeah.
But when you go back to that task that you left previously to kind of then do a different task, you're a bit fresher. You can actually be a bit more productive, opposed to just your performance slowly just dwindling.
And we don't think that. We think, oh, I'm going to hammer this out. I'm going to sit here and grind this out. After like the first 2 hours, your productivity is going to drop off a fucking cliff. Like you'll hammer it for that first, I'd say 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably should take a break, but you don't. So by 90 minutes in, you're starting to be, your concentration is, getting pulled onto other things. You're starting to click around your computer screen. You're going on the internet. You've researched that one thing that's just been bugging you for the last 10 minutes, and that's 15 minutes wasted. And so if you set a 2 hour thing, like what I'm going to do with the alarm, 2 hours, that'll be the time I've got to work on that. And when that alarm goes off, tough move.
Yeah, I'm sure Huberman talks about something to do with that. There's like he's got like an optimum structure for workload basically, and it is something like that. You do like half an hour of high focus work, followed by another half an hour or 90 minutes of kind of less focused work, and then you get up and have a break. And it'll be like 10 or 15 minute break, do something physical, move around, just walk up and down the stairs, something, and then you can get back to it. And the more physical it is, I'm sure the shorter it needs to be. Like if you just sat down somewhere else, not just stare at the fucking wall, you might have to have a half an hour break. Yeah. Whereas if you can kind of, get your heart rate slightly elevated, or, just go around the block a couple of times, then it might only need to be 10 or 15.
There's also a trick, because I found, obviously with the days going dark early and stuff, and the lack of energy from being in the gym, being sick, I was nodding off in my chair. Like there were points where I literally lay my chair back and had to have a nap at like 7 in the evening. Yeah. Because I was just exhausted. But there was a trick during the day. If you have accidentally had too much caffeine early on and now you're getting the crash. If you start to get tired, look up for 10 to 15 seconds. You just look up, not with your head, but with your eyes, and focus on a spot on the ceiling. And just hold it for like 15 to 30 seconds, I think it is, and just stare and look up and up. It actually wakes your ass up again, because what they believe is it instills a natural alertness that will come from an awareness of predators.
Okay.
So by looking up to the sky, looking up or above, that's like a danger zone.
Okay.
So by creating an optical upward focus, that stimulates the body and brain to wake the fuck up because, well, danger, something above us. Yeah, so it's a little trick you can do.
Bad.
You literally, like that, look like a creep. So head stays down, but eyes go up, and you just stare. Imagine if someone walks in when you're in that, and you're just like, hang on a minute, I'm feeling a bit nappy. You stare. But I've done it a few times, it does work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really does work.
I'll have to give that a try next time.
So there's all these little genetic like things we've got from our Neanderthal heritage that still, can kick in, we can still take advantage of. There you go. I think that's quite a good one.
Yeah. Well.
Cheers for the venting, people. That was
No worries. It was also... We did say that we were going to potentially be doing a little trip to another dimension, but we're not doing it
today, because I'm just not well enough.
Yeah, Lexi's mostly better,
today,
but not
but
enough.
Literally only today.
Yeah.
And you have to, when you do them, you have to fast, which is depleting. And then it is very depleting doing the tricks. People don't realise that. You come out the other side like, whoa. Like, you feel great, but Jesus, are you drained? And I just feel like it would absolutely knock me sideways. So it's a big... that is the adult thing to do.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Don't go into these things which are strenuous and they are intense and they can be bad if you go in with the wrong mindset, or going in feeling slightly nervous is not a good thing.
Yeah, we'll just sort another date next month or something like that.
We'll find a time.
I
definitely want to do one. I'll see what it tells me this time. But I'm going to go in with intent.
Yeah.
Rather than just go in and let the music take me, which is a lovely time. I'm actually going to go in with focused intent to challenge.
I've seen a few. I don't know whether we're going to run out of time, but I've seen a few guided meditations that
you can use with
asking questions.
I will do
so
that.
I feel like something like that might be quite handy because it's almost going to replicate what I got from you because you were able to ask me questions.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in. We'll do that.
So I think that might be handy.
When we do it, we'll let you know, and then we'll do another trip report.
Yeah.
Sweet. Right. Well, leave behind the spaghetti bin bag of crap. Leave it behind. Sod you, January. Bring forward what was good, which is hopefully going to be February.
Yeah, slightly less crap.
Yeah. Days are getting longer. Come on, it's getting better. There are good things to be looking. Just look for the positives. Get those small wins throughout the day. And remember, red lights from 10 p.m. onwards and get that morning sunlight. It will make a big difference. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Catch you next one.
Toodle pip.